If your credit score looks like this, but you want it to look like this, I'm about to change your life. Because what if I told you that there's a proven system that can take you from a basic, beat-up credit profile to a much stronger score way faster than most people think? Look, getting a massive credit score jump isn't about luck. It's about knowing exactly which methods work and the ones that don't. Today, I'm going to break down every single way to increase your credit score fast, ranked from stupid easy to a little bit more advanced. We're talking about level 1 to level 5 difficulty. The best part is that even if you do level 1 or 2 strategies that I'm about to show you, you can still gain 20, 40, even 60 points depending on your profile. But if you stick around through all the levels, that's where the magic happens. That's where it separates people stuck at 580 from people breaking into the 680s, 700s, or more. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which strategy matches your situation right now. And I guarantee you at least one of these will work for you today. So, let's start with level 1. Let's start with the easiest win that 90% of people completely ignore. Right now, the credit bureaus probably think you're using way more debt than you should be, and that's killing your score. Here's what's crazy. Credit scoring models want to reward low utilization, but they can only score what actually gets reported. It's literally the rule. So, if your card reports a $2,500 balance on a $3,000 limit, but you pay it off later, you're still leaving a ton of points on the table. Here's exactly what to do. Log into your credit card account right now and find your statement closing date. Not your due date. Your statement closing date. That is the date the balance usually gets reported. Now here's the inside secret. If you pay that balance down before the statement closes, your score can jump without you disputing a single thing. I'm not saying you need to pay every card to zero, but if you can get the card you use most down to between 1% and 6%, that is the sweet spot. And if you have multiple cards, try to let only one card report a small balance, and let the rest report zero. That's completely fine, and it actually helps your chances. Think about it. If the bureaus think you're using 80% of your limits, that looks terrible. But 5% utilization with the exact same income looks much better. Some people see their scores increase automatically just from changing what gets reported. No dispute needed. But that's where most people stop. They pay one card down and just wait. What they don't realize is that you can actually force your score to move much faster. This is where you stop waiting and start taking control. A manual credit score boost often means you're actively creating more available credit. And here's what's beautiful. With the right credit card companies, this won't even hurt your credit score. There are companies out there that do soft pulls when you request a credit limit increase online. To name a few, this includes issuers that often review increase requests without a hard inquiry. These checks don't affect your credit at all. You can request an increase every few months if your issuer allows it, though I wouldn't recommend doing it recklessly. Now, how you request matters. Always request online or through the app. Never call unless you have to, because online requests usually give instant answers. Phone calls, on the other hand, may trigger a manual review and sometimes a hard pull. Here's an aggressive strategy that works. If you're able to request how much you want, ask for way more than you think you'll get. If you've got a $2,000 limit, don't ask for $3,000. Ask for $8,000 or $10,000. Here's why. They will either say yes, or they will counter with something lower. Either way, you win bigger than if you played it safe. I've seen people ask for double and get double, but I've also seen people who asked for 4x or 5x and still got a strong increase. You literally can't lose by aiming too high. The worst they can do is say, here's what we can give you. But here's the thing about requesting increases whenever you want. You're leaving points on the table, because when you request, is actually more important than how you request. This is where you separate the rookies from the pros. Timing isn't just important, it's everything. If you request too early, that's an automatic denial. Request at the perfect time, and it can turn into an automatic approval. So, here's the golden rule. Wait at least 3 billing cycles for your first increase, then 6 billing cycles for every increase after that. Why billing cycles instead of months? Because that's how credit card companies actually track your account. So, let me break this down with real numbers. If you got approved for a new card in January, count 3 billing cycles, not just 3 calendar months. That might be April 15th, not April 1st. Request the increase then, and if you get approved, great. Now wait 6 more billing cycles for the next one. This is exactly what disciplined people do. They set calendar reminders, they request strategically, and every single time that reminder hits, they take another step forward. That is how people slowly build more available credit and lower utilization without dumping huge piles of cash all at once. But there's one exception. If you got approved for a card with a very low limit, you can sometimes call immediately. So, here's the script. Hi, I just got approved for this card, but the limit is lower than what I need. I'm trying to keep my utilization low, and I'd like the account reviewed for a higher limit. Either way, after your first increase, you have to respect the timeline. For the majority of lenders, they will only review your account favorably so many times per year. Now, waiting is important, but that means nothing if the credit card company doesn't see you as someone who manages credit well. That's where the next level changes everything. This is where we get serious, and where most people fail. Credit card companies and scoring models are watching behavior. So, if you want a higher score, you need to start looking like their favorite customer. Here's a strategy that works every single time. 3 months before you want your score to peak, make that card your main card. Everything goes on it. Groceries, gas, subscriptions, everything. But here's the key. You're not just spending, you're cycling. Spend $500, pay off $500. Spend another $500, pay it off again. Do this multiple times per month. The credit card company sees that you're putting real activity through the card, but not carrying a dangerous balance. That tells them that you know how to use credit, but timing the payment is crucial. 1 week before the statement closes, pay that balance down to under 10%. For better results, get it between 1% and 6%. Here are 2 reasons why. First, it shows that you're responsible. You use credit, but you pay it off. Second, your credit score will usually be the highest with low utilization. And yes, they will most likely take a peek at your score when reviewing your account. Now, here's what not to do. Don't let that card sit unused for months, then suddenly expect a big score jump or a limit increase. I've seen that fail the majority of the time. Think about it from their perspective. Why would they reward you with more credit if you don't even use the credit they already gave you? The data is clear. Responsible heavy users with low reported balances usually do better. Period. But here's what nobody tells you. You could do everything that I just said perfectly and still have a weak score, because there's still one thing that overrides everything. This is the nuclear option. The most work, but the biggest results. Your credit profile is like your financial report card. The scoring models look at everything before giving you a meaningful score jump. So, here's what you need to fix. First is your overall credit utilization. This is 30% of your credit score. It's huge. Take all the credit cards that you have, add up all the balances, add up all the limits, then divide balances by limits. If that number is over 30%, you are most likely holding your score back hard. If that number is under 10%, there are much higher odds of seeing strong score movement. Here's the priority order. Pay down any card over 30% utilization first. Then, get the card you care about most under 10%. Next, get your overall utilization under 10%. This might mean paying off $2,000, $5,000, even more in credit card debt. That's why this is level 5. Second is individual card utilization. That specific card that is reporting high, it needs to come down fast. For example, if you've got a $5,000 limit and a $4,200 balance, that balance better be way lower by the time the statement closes. Under $500 is better. Under $150 is even better. The credit bureaus need to see that you're not desperate for credit. You're just optimizing. Third is recent negatives. This is crucial, because if you've got fresh late payments, collections or charge-offs, your score may not respond the way you want even if you fix utilization. So, check your report for anything inaccurate. Late payments that should not be there. Collections that are reporting wrong. Balances that make no sense. If it's inaccurate, dispute it. If it's accurate but isolated, try a goodwill letter. If it's a collection, look for the best path to resolve it strategically. Fourth is your adverse action letter. If you get denied for a card, loan, or limit increase, you receive something called an adverse action letter. This tells you exactly why you were denied. Common reasons and their fixes are simple. Too much debt relative to income? Pay down your balances. Account too new? Wait longer. Too many recent inquiries? Stop applying for 3 to 6 months. Recent delinquency? Wait 12 months from the late payment while keeping everything else clean. This letter is literally the blueprint for getting approved next time. So, here's my rule. If you get denied, fix the exact issue they named. Then try again once the profile actually changes. Alright, if you made it this far, you deserve an advanced strategy that could save you thousands in interest. So, here's the situation. If you're about to buy a house, refinance, or apply for a major loan, you may need your score to jump fast. Not eventually. Fast, one problem is the bureaus can take time to update balances or corrected items, but you need that better score right now to make the numbers work. Here's what most people don't know. You can sometimes use a rapid rescore through your mortgage lender. This is a game changer. So, let me show you exactly how it works. Say you pay down a $7,000 credit card balance to $300. Or say a creditor corrects an error on your report. Normally, you'd sit there and wait for the bureaus to update it. But if you're in mortgage mode, your lender can sometimes submit the updated proof and push for a rapid rescore. Now, instead of waiting for the next regular update, your improved score can show up much faster. You just created a better loan profile out of thin air. This works well because mortgage rates are extremely sensitive to score tiers. A small score jump can literally save you thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, over the life of a loan. So, you're basically taking improvements you already made and forcing them to count right now instead of later. Now here's the key. This only works through a lender in the right situation. You can't just log in yourself and do it manually. And here's what's beautiful. It doesn't require you to open new accounts, wait 6 months, or hope for the best. It's about using the correction or paydown you already created and getting it reflected faster. But here's my pro tip. Only use this when the timing matters. A mortgage, a refinance, a major loan. Don't overcomplicate a normal credit repair timeline if you're not on a real deadline. Also, think strategically when you do this. Do it right after you pay down balances or correct reporting errors. This way, you can maximize every point during the exact moment you need it most. And one more thing. Some people use this same thinking in reverse too. They lower balances, clean up errors, and stop all new applications for 30 to 90 days before underwriting. The point is, your credit score isn't locked in stone. It can move a lot faster than most people realize. Most people never learn this. They're just stuck with whatever score they have today. But now you know better. Now that you know how to maximize your existing credit and save thousands in interest, let me show you when these strategies could actually hurt you. One of the reasons is if you're applying for a mortgage or car loan soon, banks do not want to see a bunch of new accounts or a bunch of hard inquiries. So here's a general rule of thumb. If you're within 30 to 90 days of a major loan, do not go crazy opening new cards. That can make your file look unstable. I've actually seen people do all the right things, then sabotage the whole process by applying for 2 or 3 new cards right before underwriting. Another reason to avoid certain moves is if they require a hard pull and you don't truly need them. Unless you desperately need the extra credit, or there's a strategic reason, don't waste a hard inquiry on random applications. Use that hard pull for something that actually matters. Also, don't close old cards just because you paid them off. Old accounts help your age of credit and total available credit. So, that's exactly how you go from a weak, sloppy credit profile to a much stronger score way faster than most people think. Look, I just gave you 5 levels of strategies, plus a bonus hack that could save you thousands. But I need to be real with you. None of this matters if you keep missing payments. All these strategies are completely useless if you fix utilization, but keep adding new late payments, new collections, or new mistakes. If your profile is sitting in the low 600s or below because of negatives, you need to fix that first, before any of this will fully work. Click on this video right here, where I'll show you exactly how to remove the things dragging your score down. These are the exact methods that will make everything that I taught you actually work. I'll see you in that video.